Hello, this is Kevin Lausch with the Unitarian Universalists of Transylvania County, and I'm here with the Chalice Children's book reading for Sunday, September the 21st. And today we're celebrating the first preaching in the U.S. of John Murray, who was sort of the founder of Unitarian Universalism in the U.S. So we'll find out a little bit more about him. And we're using the story, John Murray and the Winds of Change. It's from the Creating Home curriculum, which is in the Tapestry of Faith from the UUA. So here we go. John Murray and the Winds of Change. You never know what the wind will blow in or which way the wind blows. The wind can change directions and maybe change your life. It happened to John Murray. As a young man, John Murray had an excellent fortune blow his way. He had a fine education, a steady job, a loving wife, and a young son. Life was good. Then suddenly everything changed, and John Murray's wife and son died. John lost his job. He lost all his money. He was even thrown into prison because he couldn't pay his debts. It was a thing called debtor's prison that existed then, where poor people were placed unjustly because they couldn't pay money that they owed. Now, John was a very religious man, a Universalist, and he had even been preaching about a loving God who accepted and loved everyone. And this is a picture of how he might have looked at the time. He was from England, he was somewhat educated, and he was traveling around and preaching. He was preaching as a Universalist, which meant that God welcomed and took everyone into sort of heaven or into a blessing, and no one was excluded and no one was considered not good enough. So John was sort of preaching a type of universal love for everyone. Well, even though he was a religious man, since he lost his wife and his child, he didn't know what he believed, and he was very sad, and he really wondered about what he should do and where he should go in life. Friends urged him to go someplace where he could start again. So John boarded a ship for America, and the ship was called the Hand in Hand. The wind blew the ship toward their destination, which is New York. But then fog rolled in, and the ship ran aground in New Jersey instead of New York. John and a few others volunteered to leave the ship, to go onto land, and to try and get directions and supplies, because the people on board were running out of food to eat. As he was walking ashore, John saw a farmhouse with a small chapel or church beside it. It belonged to Thomas Potter. Thomas Potter greeted John, gave him food for everyone on the ship, and invited John to come back and have dinner with him that night. And from our Creating Home curriculum, this is a picture, I colored it myself, I'm very proud of it, of John Murray meeting Thomas Potter. And the idea was that this was New Jersey with the ocean before them, and this was his ship, the Hand in Hand. It was stuck on a sandbar, and Thomas Potter was asking him to come to his house for dinner, and that they would give him hospitality, a welcoming, and a place where he could be, and basically showing a lot of neighborly love. When John came back, Thomas Potter showed him the chapel. Thomas Potter said that he believed in a loving God who wanted to accept all people into heaven. John said that he believed the same thing. Thomas Potter told John that he had built the chapel and was waiting for God to send a minister. You, John, are that minister. I have waited for you for a long time. Which is sort of interesting to think that he had built a church and now he's just waiting for a minister to come and preach universal love for all people in it. Now, John Murray did not want to hear this. He was not a preacher anymore, and he was determined to never preach again because he was so sad over losing his wife and child. Yet Thomas Potter seemed confident that John was the Universalist preacher he waited for and asked John to preach on Sunday. I can't preach on Sunday, said John, because as soon as the wind changes, my boat will set sail and I must be on it. Well, Thomas Potter was a pretty smart guy, and he said, what if the boat had not sailed on Sunday? Will you preach then? If I'm still here on Sunday, I will preach, said John Murray. Now, what do you think happened? Did the wind blow the ship away? Did the Hand in Hand, the name of the boat, sail away, taking John Murray with it? No wind blew, and no ship sailed. So John Murray preached on Sunday morning, September 30, 1770 in the chapel Thomas Potter had built for him from many years before. And the Universalist message of power of love was good news to many who heard it. It was good news for John to hear too, because his faith in himself, his faith and love for all people was restored. The winds of change blew yet again for John Murray. He now wanted to preach more than anything, and he did for many years, and he helped found Universalism in America. He is one of the ancestors of our faith home, and we, as Unitarian Universalists, owe a special thanks to Thomas Potter. It was his hospitality that brought John Murray back to the pulpit. We also owe a special thanks to the wind that blew him in and the wind that would not blow him out, so he was able to preach. And this is a picture of the chapel in Murray's Grove, New Jersey now, that was rebuilt on the place where John Murray once preached, and it's called the Good Luck Chapel. And it's good luck for us that his ship did not sail and he was able to preach. And John Murray went on to found a Universalist church in Massachusetts, and this is the first meeting house of Universalism in Gloucester, Massachusetts. And this was dedicated in 1780, about 10 years after John Murray came to the U.S. So that is the story of John Murray, and this is considered sort of a miracle for Unitarianism because John Murray's ship could have been blown out, but the ship stayed stuck on the sandbar, and the wind didn't blow him away, so he was able to preach. So just think about that for today, and for Thomas Potter and John Murray, and the founding of our denomination. Thanks so much, and have a great day, and Reverend